So I moved to Phoenix, Arizona in Ahwatukee. I was kind of excited to move, but then it kind of sucked at the same time because it means you got to start all over. And I wasn't thinking about that when I was a kid. I was just more like, oh, moving somewhere else, cool. Never moved before in my life, so I'm like, I turned 11 because my dad died January 13th, 1997. My birthday's January 24th. So he died like 2 weeks before my birthday. So like 6 months later, we ended up moving. Um, Move out there. I got two friends right away, which were like one of them was like my neighbor or like right around the corner, and the other one was like right around the corner. So I got two friends kind of right away. I attended Akimel Middle School. When my first time going to school out there, because it's different than Illinois. 6th grade, you're in middle school, you're still not in elementary school. Which out here in Illinois, 6th grade is still part of elementary school. So I'm in 6th grade in middle school, and I'm like this little short shit. And I see all these big kids, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm so little. A lot of these girls already got boobs and all this kind of stuff. And I'm just like, oh my god, I don't have boobs. So it was like kind of weird, but it's a different experience. So I kind of started getting a little self-conscious about myself, like, but when I first started going to school out there, my mom made a point to tell the administrative people, I just lost my father, so right now it's a rough time for all of us, to, if anything, if she can get put into counseling or whatever. So they mentioned to put me in like some kind of like extracurricular activity. They're like, do you like to run? You like to do that? My mom's like, oh, she likes to run, because every time we had like a field day in elementary school in Illinois, I always did like the baton relay thing, and every time I did any kind of racing or running out there, I always got a ribbon. Between first and third place, I always won. So I was like, yeah, let's put her in running. And they're like, well, right now we have cross country going on. So I got put into cross country. At that age, I wasn't popular. Not for the least of nothing, I still didn't even pick out my own clothes to go to school. My mom picked out my own clothes. So, yeah. It's not like I was like wearing all the cool kids' clothes or anything. I didn't know how to do my hair. I didn't wear makeup. I'm only in 6th grade. So, yeah. It started out okay. I had some friends. It was rough. It wasn't that rough. 6th grade actually wasn't that bad. I met a girl though who was in 5th grade at a McDonald's. She was at McDonald's with a friend, not her friend, her brother. And me and her kind of became friends. And that's when I found out she was only in 5th grade, because this girl was just a little taller than me. She had these huge boobs, and they were real. And I'm like, I'm in 6th grade and I don't have none of that. And here you are in 5th grade and you have bigger boobs than I do. Like, you have mature. I wouldn't. No, I would have thought she was like a freshman in high school. She wasn't. Me and her became friends, and she was pretty cool, but she was a lot more advanced into what was going on. Come to find out, she was already having sex. She had to shave her legs. I wasn't even allowed to shave in 6th grade. So it was kind of sucked. She got to shave. Every time I go over to her house, she's all like, shave. She was going to get me to shave. Long story short, she was kind of being experimental with me. I don't know what it was, but it was like an experimental thing. But we kind of did some girly girl stuff. If you catch my drift. I don't know how to say it in an appropriate way. But my first sexual encounter was with a girl. I don't know, after a while, me and her stopped talking because I was over at her house one time and she was like chasing her brother, and it just got a little weird. So I left. Yeah. So after that, anyway, school was good. blah, blah, blah. Good, 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 good. Um, Cross country, I ended up succeeding very well in cross country. I wasn't number one. I was like the between second and third runners. And it was my first time in cross country, so it became something that my mom was very proud of me doing because I ended up being really good at it. So cross country and then track and field became like the two sports I ended up doing while I was in middle school. And then 7th grade came along, and that's, you know, a lot of people are like talking about a lot of stuff and this, and that's when I start hearing about drugs, and I hear about sex, and I'm hearing all this stuff that, you know, I have no idea what it was. And I just remember one time, like, a lot of people in Arizona were talking about acid, and I didn't even know what acid was. I didn't know what anything was. That's the first time I ever found out what a freaking clitoris was. I didn't even know what that was. I ended up finding out what that was. Yeah. But I remember that these people were telling me that this one girl that we never talked, but I ended up having a conversation. I was like, people said that you drink acid. And she started laughing at me. She's like, ha 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 ha, you don't drink acid. And I'm like, oh, well, I didn't know. It's kind of funny though. That year became like, it was like a high and a low for me because I was in between trying to figure myself out. Like, I wanted to be popular. I wanted to have more friends. I wanted to do this. But that's when I figured out that I was good at poetry. And that was the first time that I ever wrote a poem, and it was about my dad. And I read it in like this little poetry reading thing that I did, and it was really cool. Around my dad's birthday and the time of my dad's death, were usually like the 2 points in my life at that moment that were very stressful for me, and I'd cry. And I remember sitting at lunch one time crying, and one of my so-called friends decided to be like, the only reason you cry is because you want people to feel sorry for you. And I was just like, I had to get up and walk away, and I had to go to the admin's office because I was just like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, you would never know what it's like to be in my shoes until you lost a parent. And you know, she never had. She had no idea, and she's sitting there downing me, and it was just like horrible. And being in Arizona kind of made me like, I don't like being here. So it got to that point where, I don't know, most of it was just, I just didn't want to deal with anybody then. I had 2 boyfriends in 7th grade. And that was it. They never really got that far or doing anything with any of them. Wasn't into that. That wasn't me. But I remember there was a point where I was like, starting to become rebellious. I see my brother start doing drugs and doing stuff. Like, he started smoking weed, and I'm watching this, and I'm like, I remember, like, I started becoming rebellious. I'm grown. So my mom's like, oh, okay, you want to be grown? Then you can go stay with your sister and do whatever, and then see how you like it. So my sister lived, like, on the other side. We stayed in Lakewood, which is, like, this little neighborhood in the middle of the lake and everything. It's really cool. Whatever. Nice neighborhood. Very nice. So, my sister stayed in the apartment building, so while we stayed in this house. So, I go stay over there, and I think I stayed with her for a couple of days. My little brother was over there, too, and I'd babysit, and I'd be like, you have to get inside. He's like, you're not my mom. Wouldn't listen to me. And I'm like, ugh. She wasn't much of a parent figure either. She drank a lot. She wasn't there. Or there'd be times where she had a guy coming over, so I would have to leave. So she could kick me out the apartment until whatever, and I would just walk around the apartment building. I remember one time she was gone, and I went outside to go get my little brother because I'm like, it's getting late, you have to come inside. Well, these guys were coming around, you know, knocking on doors, you know, trying to sell stuff. And they were there and they were like trying to sell me these calendars or whatever that they were selling. I was like, no, I don't have no money. If I had some money, I would buy some. So they left. Then I went back outside to look for my little brother, and these boys are still in the neighborhood. They're like, oh, we're just waiting on our van ride to get here, and then we're leaving. I'm like, oh, okay. I told my little brother, you need to hurry up and get inside, go back. I told you guys, if you want to get a drink while you wait, because we lived in Arizona, it's hot. So I'm telling them, like, if you want to come inside and get a drink, you can. So I'm inside, and next thing I know, one of the boys decides to try and come on to me, and I'm looking at his friend like, get your friend, help me, help me. I get knocked off the chair, and then I'm like pinned down on the ground, and he's like trying to go on my, like, he sticks his head up my shirt, which was so uncomfortable for me because at that moment, once, I don't have boobs. Two, I wish I did. So I was like very insecure, and I'm like, I felt violated. And then next thing, this boy starts trying to undo my pants. And I'm getting super scared. I'm like, oh my god, where's my brother? I hope my brother walks through this door. This is ridiculous. I tell him to come home. He's not coming home. Then I hear cars honking. And then his friend's all like, dude, the van's here. We have to go. We have to go. And it took him like 3 minutes. But after 3 minutes, he ended up stopping what he was doing. And they got up and left. Thank God. I had those shorts that have those, has one button and then covers, but then underneath the little cover is like 4 more buttons, so he couldn't really undo my shorts. Thank God, because if he did, I would have been really scared to figure out what the outcome would have been if he got him undone. Then my brother finally comes home, and I start yelling at him, like, why the heck didn't you come home? You should have been here. When I say to get here, get here. You do not know what just happened to me, this and the other. After that day, I went back home with my mom. And the boy that I was dating at that time, I ended up telling him, and he was like, oh my god, if I was there, I would have whooped their asses and this. And it was really scary, because just to think that I was on the verge of some man trying to rape me. And he was probably like 16, 17. So he was a teenager himself. Yeah. Besides that, 7th grade was good. I got made fun of a lot. I remember I wanted my hair permed, and I wanted my hair in layers because everyone was doing the layers, but then I wanted curls. So for my birthday, my mom gets my hair cut. And back then, I didn't know how to do my hair. So when I got it layered and permed, my hair was like, whoa. And I'm a natural redhead. So on top of people calling me Carrot Top, which I didn't like either, because my hair is like my hair is not orange, it's red. So I got made fun of my hair, and then this one boy used to call me Shaggy. It sucks, because I didn't like getting made fun of. I had one boy who was all like, if you actually did something to yourself, you might be pretty. And I'm just like, what the heck? Yeah, it sucks. Besides that, my cross-country career, a sports event at that time, got the highest high. I was #1 for my school. I was a really fast runner. I was really good. If that was one thing I was good at, I was great at running. I was like the best. And then 8th grade hit. And 8th grade was another part of my life that kind of changed me forever and ever. It changed me to the point I became a whole other person. Like, this little innocent me became not so innocent.